You see, guys, here's the amazing thing about life and Jesus Christ. You have to understand that each and every single day you live life, you get a choice. And that choice says that either today you're going to save your life in a better way where you're going to, let's say, become more successful, or you're going to become somebody of a failure who doesn't understand Jesus and doesn't learn about Jesus Christ every single day. Because you have to understand that those who have speaking ability and the ones who are able to listen to silence all day long are the ones who are able to also speak up, and they're also able to be more confident and understand God in Jesus Christ. You have to understand that each and every single day you do something that's going to help you. I realize it's going to be communicational skills every single day. And what exactly is that? I realize that communicational skills is being able to take action in a way that's going to help you and making common sense of every single situation, while also public speaking to make sure that you're leading a crowd into Jesus. And that's the only purpose of life, because that way you're going to understand what a true leader is. Because those people who understand to let go every single day are the ones who are going to rise to the occasion. And they're going to be ones who are going to be at the brisk of dawn lifting people. You understand? So no matter what you're doing today, you have to understand that you're only ever right now in the moment. You have to understand that each and every single day you do something that's really going to help you. You do it right now, and that way you're going to fall into the moment. So when you fall into the moment, you're really accepting everything that's going on. And now, I understand that the governments right now are trying to force you to work, and they're trying to make you work a 9 to 5 and all of this. But it's only because you are unaware about what you're doing. So you have to understand that if you're aware about entrepreneurship and how to get around the world, you will never even work the 9 to 5. Because it's only that they force you to work something in life, and they force you to do something in life. You have to understand that I don't have to work a 9 to 5 job because I have Jesus Christ more than most people. You understand? So when I have Jesus Christ more than most, when I have Jesus Christ more than most people, I understand that I'm smarter than most people, because only the smartest understand Jesus Christ the most. You understand? So no matter what, you have to understand that in order to follow a greater way, you have to follow the 10 commandments and make sure that you don't kill anybody, because it's not about violence. And as you can see, the Jesus story says that no matter how much he was beaten by the Pharisees, and no matter how much they spat on him and put him in jail and also beat him and also put him on the cross and all that, you have to understand that Jesus never hit back. You understand? So realize that he says, if they hit you once, you turn the left cheek and make him hit you again. Because you have to understand, it's not about hitting back, and it's not about self-defense. You have to understand that no matter what, that if you desire to live a life much longer, you can use self-defense as a mechanism to understand to block when you are getting hit, and to also run away when somebody's trying to stab you. You can run away. You can also block, and you also can make sure to put the person on the ground to make sure that you save your life. You understand? So you don't have to do exactly as Jesus did, although what you have to do is exactly like Jesus. You understand? So life is contradictory, although you don't exactly need to go in the direction of letting yourself die. Although what you can do is, you have to understand, you have to let go totally. You totally have to let go, although you can escape death, is what I'm saying. And if somebody's trying to kill you, you, for example, may have somebody with a knife right in front of you. I mean, are you going to just let them stab you and that's it about your life? Because you will be saved, and Jesus will save you anyway. You understand? Although you can make sure you can run away from that situation. You understand? So what I'll do is I'll make sure I run away from that situation, because I choose to live long. I choose to live longer life. Although Jesus will not run away. You understand? I promise you, Jesus will not run away, because that's how Jesus is. I promise you, Jesus will stand there and get stabbed. You understand? I would run away. I would run away. You understand? Although, who is smarter in this situation? I realize that God is always smarter. I realize that Jesus is always smarter. And Jesus says that you are saved anyway. And no matter what, you have to understand that it's just that kind of scenario that I mean. And either one you choose, you can run away from the person. You can also make sure that you run away from a car accident or whatever. You understand? So no matter what, you are not in the wrong for doing that. And there is no right and no wrong in life. Although life is contradictory. And now, in life, there are going to be plenty of people who are going to try to pull you down. And I mean the governments and people who you may even be mentored by. And they're going to say, you must work for money. You must work for real estate. You must get yourself real estate because it's the only way to get money. And it's the only way to have salvation in getting a jet for yourself and to travel the world and to have all the life and have the mansion. I promise they're going to sell you this life about possessions and money. You understand? Because guess what Jesus said? Jesus said that it's not about the money and it's not about this world because there is something better. You understand? So the whole point is that you understand that money doesn't matter and that this world that you see today does not matter. What matters is something better than this. Understand? So realize that you don't own anything of this world, as Jesus said. You have to understand that I only have what I have because of Jesus. You understand? I realize that as soon as I realize that if I ever turn my back on Jesus, I realize I'll lose everything. You understand? So realize that you understand that those people who are around you right now and making you do drugs is only you. You understand? I promise you, they are the ones forcing you, although you are the one accepting it. And now, if you accept yourself to kill yourself, I realize that it's nobody else's responsibility but yours. I mean, what do you do in that situation? You make sure that you get away from people who are killing you. I mean, get away from people who look the same. I mean, get away from old sounds and old material and all. I realize you have to get away from the old life because the old life doesn't mean a new life. You need to be reborn again. And in order to do that, you have to start traveling a bit. You have to understand Jesus Christ. You have to understand the Bible. You have to read and read and read. I today read 10 tabs. You understand 10 tabs on a laptop? I have 10 tabs open on YouTube. And I press play on all of it. And I get 10 sounds from 20 people who are interviewing each other. And then I realize they're just speaking out in a way that's going to help I. I realize that I understand that it helps I in a way that one audio will not help I. I realize that I have 10 audios playing at the same time because that way I have 10 vocalities and 20 vocalities playing at the same time. And now when I listen to that, I pick up information quicker. I pick up information faster with ideas. And now who made this up in terms of life? I did. I just went on YouTube and I popped up 10 tabs and I started to read. Because it's much faster to read like that. I can read 40 hours a day easily. I can read 100 hours a day easily. You understand? So realize that when you go on YouTube, you put 10 tabs on. And that way you can also read whatever you need in life. You can watch entertainment in one, and then you can watch 9 other ones in terms of the entrepreneurship. You can go and listen to them. And then what you do is you go and also read the thumbnails inside the YouTube. And they're going to pop up, and then you just scroll to see what happened in the video, and then you just go about your life. Although I also bring Netflix into the picture, and that's my 11th phone in one. And then as it's playing, or as 10 tabs are open inside YouTube, I play it all together. I then get into my Netflix because I give $10 a month to go and just look at the thumbnails of the nice, beautiful videos that may be inside Netflix. So no matter what, I just make sure to go and see the images. And that way I'm always never procrastinating, although I'm reading and doing something along the way. You have to understand that each and every single day is a lesson. So make sure you're teaching something every single day. Promise you that it's very important that you understand that you're letting go in life. You must let go because that way you can teach something. You can allow yourself to go and do something great. You have to understand that most of the people in the planet are never going to believe in you. I believe in you. I believe in you. Although I believe in Jesus Christ even more. In a sense, so realize that no matter what, that only you can believe in yourself the most. You understand? Because when you do that, you will also rise into Jesus. I realize that I need you to believe in yourself about your life. I realize that right now, there's 7.6 billion people in the planet. And that's how much competition you have. You have to understand, although, that life is not a competition with other people. And life is really coming to Jesus. I promise you, that's the moment of your life. I promise you, the moment you can just give and give and give and give for free, and without expecting anything in return, and you just give all the content and your heart out there, I promise you, Jesus will come into your life and will make you free. And then all you do from that point on is you just work for Jesus from that point. And then from that point, everything else comes. Although the money is an illusion. I promise you, there is no money to make. I promise you, what's important is working for Jesus right now. I promise you, it's not the 9 to 5 that's going to make you rich. I promise you, Jesus will make you rich. I promise you now, if you believe in God, you have to understand that you have to grow anyway. You have to grow, and you have to understand that it's really about letting go as you talk. You let go totally, and there's no using anything else other than just letting go and making sure that you use yourself to the best of your ability. I mean, make sure that what you're doing today is going to be smarter than yesterday. I mean, make sure that when you're public speaking, your words are pronunciation correctly in a better way. Understand? I mean, make some mistakes in your communication. I mean, there's no guarantees other than Jesus Christ in life. I mean, you have nothing to lose. You have to understand that each and every single time you speak, I mean, practice and practice and practice around your concept. And what is it? You must be Jesus. You must be always living life to the best of your ability. You must understand that I'm alone in life. Although I have a blissful life, I have a blissful life to be alone. Understand that those who understand my life is just Jesus and I. I need nobody else, because my life is fulfilled every single day much more, because I can grow, and because I can do videos, and because I've got so much going for me in a better way. You have to understand that each and every single day I live my life, I live it to the best of my ability in a grammatical better way. I make sure I realize my grammatical ways, must be better. I must have a grammatically correct view of a better way only. I must never be grammatically correct. I must be grammatically correct better. You understand? Because to be fixed upon something is to lose. And to be better fixing, in terms of fixing something for the better, you understand that can go all ways. Because if you're just fixing something, you have to understand that what you're fixing is going to lose. You never fix anything of this life. You just make sure you improve it. I mean, when you have a table that has 3 legs because one fell off, I mean, what do? I mean, do you fix it or do you get a new one? You have to understand that what Jesus will say for you is you throw off the table and throw it out altogether and never get yourself a new one, because it's not free. Understand? And that's why you can find Jesus. You can find Jesus the free way. You can go the free way, and that's where Jesus stands. Honestly, if you have to go to accommodation, although you have a free apartment at your dad's house or your mum's house, in terms of your biological mum and biological dad's house, because your real father is the heavenly Father, understand? So call them your biological parents and not your real parents. Understand? So realize that if it's for free to live with them, I mean, why wouldn't you live with them for free? You understand? Because otherwise you'll be giving $25 a day for accommodation. And that's not worth it. Realize that you have to use your surroundings and use your resources. You have to make sure that you're on the good side of everybody. I mean, make sure that what you deserve is Jesus only in thy name. You understand? So realize each and every single day you lift yourself, you're going to be something much more special. You're going to be something much more in life. And you just have to keep giving. You have to give from your heart. And I understand that sometimes I may get upset too. I get upset because it's my ego. I understand the ego gets me upset. And that's why I have to let go. I have to let go. I have to let go. And how do I really let go? I just never tense myself. I never tense my muscles. I never tense. I just let go. I just have no tension. I never place tension on my life anymore. I used to go into my videos and I used to use this mindset over here, and I used to tense my mindset so much to be able to talk. I don't do that anymore. I used to use my heart to speak also. Although I realize that when I push my heart at you, I realize that it's tensing. I realize I start to tense. I realize that I never even have to do that anymore. I realize my face before was very tensed up when I was speaking because my ego was in control. Whereas now, I understand that because I write so much, I realize my ego goes to paper. And my ego is transformed. And there's no ego anymore because I'm much more aware now. And since I do write so much on paper, I found Jesus much more. And the more I give, the more I have Jesus. You understand? Because as soon as you stop giving, you have to understand that Jesus also stops giving you. You understand? So realize that whatever you're doing today must be for Jesus. You must understand that letting go is a way of life. And letting go is forgiveness. And letting go is acceptance. So when you look at letting go and how to do that, look at Jesus and how Jesus died on the cross. Jesus never fought back. And as they were hitting him, he was accepting it. And he was letting go and forgiving the whole time. Because if Jesus was to hit back, even once, I promise you that Jesus would have not forgave. You have to understand the whole definition of humanity is to forgive and let go. If somebody's wronged you, you forgive them and let go. Otherwise, you're going to go to their house and kill them. You understand? So the whole point is forgive them and let go and just go walk away. Because if you go the other way, you'll go and kill them. So what you do is, you let them go. You let them go, you walk away, as the police say. You have to understand that whatever happens, where you may get attacked by 3 police officers and get killed by them, and you're innocent, such as George Floyd. One guy who is a black man, although he was killed by 3 white men who were police officers, and nobody else could help him. And guess what he done? You have to understand that he accepted it. Understand? Because you don't fight back. You let them kill you. George Floyd died the exact same way Jesus did. Do you understand me? And that's the way. You have to do what George Floyd did too. You have to understand that when they pinned Jesus to the cross, you have to understand it's the same way that George Floyd was pinned by 3 police officers. You understand? And that's why you have to always do better. You always have to understand that you have to be better in life. I promise you, if they pin you down too, and even though they're police officers, let them. And let them take you to jail for a $20 bill. You have to understand that no matter what, that police are also stupid. You understand? I promise you, they're stupid people. You understand? Just because they're the law, I realize it doesn't mean that they are above the law. You have to understand, they still have to follow Jesus' laws. They're not above Jesus. You understand? You have to understand that the smarter you are, you have to understand the more you're going to help people. You have to be smart today. You have to learn. You have to grow. You have to understand that now I can read 100 hours per day. I'm not bullshitting here. I can read 100 hours per day because each hour I do read with 10 tabs open, I realize that is 100 minutes of information. You understand? So what I do every single day is I understand that I'm reading far more than 1 hour per day now. I'm reading 100 hours per day and more. You have to understand though that every single day I communicate much more. And I have to plan it all on video. I have to do it more on video because I'm much more of a natural today than I was when I started. I'd rather do this now for the rest of my life because I have over 400 hours of video now. And it's much easier to keep it going now. Whereas when I first started off, I had to keep coming back to these videos. And I had to keep doing them. I had to keep practicing and practicing and practicing. And I gained results. Each and every single video that I ever done, I gained results, I promise you. I gained results from this video too. I really find out what my communicational ability can be. I can be a teacher in Jesus' name more and more the more I teach life. Because I'm a life coach just like Jesus. I'm exactly the same as Jesus. Understand? So the more I live in Jesus' name, the more I live in Jesus' name, the better I live. And that's the meaning of life, which is Jesus. And the more you have Jesus, the better. So I look to see who in the planet has Jesus the way I do. I promise you now, I am the only one who is unique. I understand that everybody has unique in them. I understand that everybody has Jesus in them right now. I promise you, even the ones in prison have Jesus. You have to understand though, that it's really, I understand that. You understand? I promise you, everybody has Jesus to a certain extent. And now, what do you do? I promise you, what do? You keep growing. You understand? And everybody is different. And everybody has different grace in life. I promise you, everybody has a different aspect of life with a different experience. And that's what is unique about you. You have to understand that just because you're doing more, I promise you, that's why you're going to be more successful. You have to do more than the rest. You have to understand that when somebody doesn't have Jesus the way you do, you have to understand that you are more successful. And it's that simple. I promise you, if somebody has worse habits than you, I promise you it's because they don't have the courage to lift, even though they do. And what's the problem there? I promise you that there is no problem, although they have to understand that they have to grow themselves. You have to grow yourself every day. And if you're not willing to read, you are not willing to have Jesus more in your life. I promise you it's that simple. So every single day, I read. I don't just read 1 hour a day anymore. I read 100 hours a day. You understand? I read on YouTube. I just only use YouTube and laptop together because I understand that on a phone, I can only watch one screen with a YouTube. I can watch 10 screens on my laptop with YouTube at once. You understand? Because the audio has many tones. You understand? I mean, that's how it sounds on the audio, although it's really tones. And the more tones you can read, the better you're going to live life. So understand that my communication skills right now have improved tremendously. So what I do under pressure right now is I let go. I let go as much as I can, and I practice as much as I can. I mean, why do I practice so much? Because I'm just giving you life. I'm just giving you my time. I'm giving you my freedom. I'm giving you Jesus right now. I'm giving you something of words where I can go and help Jesus, the Almighty God, do some words today. Understand? Because that way I've got nothing else to do anyway. Understand? So every single day I do something for Jesus, I get rewarded. I get rewarded right now by doing this video because I understand my tonality in this video. I understand how smart I am in this video. And that's my reward already. I learned something about my own video. Each and every single video I do, I learn something more about how I communicate and how I handle myself and how I do life. I let go totally. I mean, there's no absolute of tension in my life right now. I've got no tension. I've got no stress. I mean, I've got stress in a positive way though. And now positive stress looks like Jesus letting go on the cross. That's what the foundation of positive stress is. Unfortunately, negative stress is called beating somebody to death. Unfortunately, that's what negative stress is. You understand? Unfortunately, when I have to run after you to kill you. Unfortunately, that's called negative stress. Unfortunately, it's called negative stress when you are straining yourself and you're tension and you're angry and you're arrogant and you're negative and you're drinking alcohol and you're smoking cigarettes. That's called negative stress. And when you're beating people in the planet, you're smacking them and you get the stick and you pump them in the head and you stab them in the eye. That's called negative stress. Positive stress is called never hit back. I mean, turn your left cheek when they hit your right cheek. That's called positive stress. I every day have positive stress because I no longer need to fight other people. Understand? I before did hit other people first. I did. I was also hit first many times. I promise you, it's nobody's fault. I was unaware too. I although do not go that way anymore. Understand? I understand it's not the way to go. You never just go up to a little baby and smack the baby for no reason. And especially when it's somebody else's baby. Understand? So understand that you care for yourself every single day. You must care. You must understand that there is a better way of life. You must understand that you need to teach yourself everything in life, because that's how Jesus loves you. Jesus needs you to live and walk with Jesus. And the more you can walk with Jesus, or else the more Jesus will notice you. I promise you that just earlier today, I slept because I had this nice, beautiful trauma because of the ego. And I gave up on having kids and a woman and everything. And I started to cry. And I turned off the laptop that I was reading. I turned off the laptop. I didn't even want to do Jesus' work before. Understand? I promise you I was depressed. I just went to sleep. Understand? Because I also felt weak. I also felt very weak for all of that. I felt depressed. And what did I do? I woke up. I started to work again. I didn't let it offend me. I didn't let it drag me down any further. I said, you said that you gave up on kids and you gave up on a marriage and one woman. I mean, why? I mean, you deserve it, I said to myself. You deserve it. I don't do it to myself. I said it for myself. I said, you deserve it. And now you only deserve it if they come and get you first. I mean, you got nothing to worry about. I mean, if they never come, you got something better. I promise you, Jesus says, never chase other people. Because when you chase them, you'll always be unhappy. I promise you, if I was to call up a woman now, I promise you she'll always be ungrateful. I mean, no matter how much my fame, I mean, no matter how much my status, no matter how much my success, I promise you, if I call her first, I promise you she'll be ungrateful. Because when I don't call her first and she calls me, I'll always be grateful. You understand? Because I never have to call her. I mean, they call me. I mean, that's the definition of a player. When a woman or a man, or many men or women come to you and then give you sex. And you are just going woman to woman or man to man, and they're giving you sex because you are just never chasing them. That's called a player, and that's the definition of a player. And a player is not going into nightclubs to pick up women. That's not called a player in life. I promise you, a player is not going into nightclubs to pick up men either. Understand? A player is called let them chase you and give you sex all the way. Because otherwise, it's not worth it. Understand? So realize, each and every single day, you do some wisdom work today, you'll be doing some Jesus work. You'll be doing something that's worthy. You'll be doing some personal development and work on yourself, because there's nothing greater. I used to be a schizophrenic. I used to be 5 years on the medication. I used to be 4 years a schizophrenic. You understand? You have to understand that from the age of 19 to the age of 24, I really was becoming overweight more, and I was really mental health in terms of I had mental health issues. You understand? And it's because I didn't write in my journal. I didn't write much. I didn't give much value. I wasn't on video. I never showed my face. I was a nobody. I never loved myself. And in the Bible, it says, love thyself. I promise you, it's only when I started right here in this room, I started to do the first course about my life. I started to teach. And I knew from that point on that I don't know anything. You understand? You have to understand that when you teach more and more, you must never know anything except I. You must know I only. I mean I, for I love you. You must understand that. You must understand that you must know thyself. Although you must not know anything else other than I. I mean, Jesus says, do not cut your eye out. I mean, not these eyes, but the I love you. And now, you don't even cut these eyes out. You don't hurt yourself. You don't cut yourself. You make sure that each and every single day, you just let go. I mean, if you're under pressure, let go of the pressure. Let go. Let go of it. Just relax. Relax into the pressure and talk. Don't tense up. I mean, if you're too tensed up, I realize it's because you're a drug addict. I realize it's because you're going to have a heart attack. And now, you're not going to have a heart attack. I realize it's just because you have to understand that when you strain yourself and when you're too tensed up, I realize that a heart attack's coming. I'll be honest with you now. I realize that if you're too tensed up in life and you look like very angry all the time, bro, you're going to have a heart attack. Understand? I'm not lying. I need you to calm down. I need you to relax. I need you to understand that there is a way out. I need you to understand that you can quit drugs. Understand that you can quit anything. Understand that you can find Jesus. Although the best way is start teaching your life now. And start teaching your story right now. Because if you're not teaching your story, you'll never be worth it. You have to teach your story. You have to put your face in the camera and teach your story. And teach your philosophy. And teach your teachings and your life and what happened. And how did you overcome it? Because if you don't do that, you'll never be worth it. You'll never be worth more success. I need you to be worth more success so they understand that you are worth it. I need you to understand to add value every single day. I need you to understand that every single day you do something, you're going to be much more. You're going to be a better person. You're going to be a better attitude. You're going to understand communicational skills. You are? I need you to. I need you to understand that every single day, you have to always inspire somebody. I'd rather it be you. I'd rather you go and inspire yourself every single day. Because right now, I'm inspiring I in life. I love I all the time. I know I all the time. I'm always doing something for I. Because nobody else does anything for I. Roshan now, my biological dad helps me so much in terms of freedom. And I respect him. I respect everybody because I'm still better than yesterday. And Jesus also does a lot for me. And much more than everybody else. Including me. So what do? I do something for Jesus. Because Jesus gave me life. And also made my image. Because you never know what God can do in your body. God can go into your wife's body and make the image right now. In a sense, so no matter what, your baby and how your baby looks like or how you look like is in God's image. Because God goes inside the womb and makes the image that God needs. I mean, it's really quick. I mean, just 1 second. I mean, you didn't even understand that God went into you. Understand? So realize that faith is in this world and hope is in this world because we have a Bible. And the Bible states that we are all saved. And that means whether you kill somebody or you don't kill somebody, you will be saved in eternal life because your soul and wisdom is God's wisdom and it's coming back to God. Understand? I mean, the words that you speak out of your mouth is what's coming back to God because that's your wisdom and that's your information. And you always have life in that. Although you don't go killing people because otherwise you'll be sentenced to prison and you'll live a short life then. In a sense, so live a long life in Jesus' name. And make sure that what you do on a daily life, or else you make sure that what you do in daily life is that you correct yourself in a better way, like I just did, and communicate in a better way. And the best way is start a journal and write every single day in your journal. I mean, write about your life and write about the surroundings and how you're going to overcome your day today. And how are you going to make financial freedom every single day? Because if you're not planning to make more of your life, you're not planning at all. You have to understand that planners are winners, and those who plan always have more of Jesus. You have to understand that you have to get your notepad out. You have to start writing everything about your day. I mean, what did you do today? I mean, how did you do it? Why did you do it? What else are you going to do? Who are you going with? Why are you going with them? How are you going to be more successful? I mean, what are you going to watch today? And why are you watching it? And then name your reasons. I mean, ask yourself, why are you doing everything? I mean, go and put everything in a journal and ask yourself, why are you writing? And why are you doing this? And why did you write that? And why did you write that? I mean, why is it because of that person? I mean, why do you like them? I mean, name 5 reasons. And then why more? I mean, why else do you like them? And what else do you love to do? Why do you love to do that? I mean, how else are you going to do? I mean, how are you going to do that? Why are you going to do that? And then just start writing. And that way you're going to start teaching people. Because when you teach more and more, you are also going to be relieved more and more. You're going to become smarter, because the more you write, the smarter you are. You're going to be able to speak like I speak. You're going to be able to read like I read. You're going to be able to have more Jesus in life. I need you to be inspired. I need you to go and inspire people, because Jesus inspires you. You may not like Jesus. Although, what did Jesus do to you? I mean, Jesus just gave you the book of life. I mean, Jesus just gave you wisdom and choice and made you in life. You understand? You have to understand that each and every single day you deny Jesus, you deny yourself even more. I promise you, every single day, I understand that sometimes I have a war going on with I and the ego. And I understand the ego doesn't want me to be with Jesus. So what do? I write everything about the ego down. Your ego is this. Your ego is this. Your ego is this. I look for ways to understand what my ego loves to do. So, for example, my ego loves to hold favorite playlists of music that I've listened to over the past years. Because why? Because the ego has an identity with that music. I mean, apple bottom jean. I mean, boots with the fur. I mean, I've listened to that song I've listened to that song many years. And you have to understand that it was not in my Spotify playlist, although it's like an example, for example. Unless, for example, I have this massive portfolio of music in my Spotify. Although I deleted all my favorite music that I used to listen to from 10 years ago to now. And I don't listen to it anymore. Why? You have to understand, because the ego made its identity around that music. And each and every single time I listen to the music, I mean, it brings me back to the past. You understand? And you don't live in the past. You live now. So what do? I remove that totally. And what do I do now? I make sure to go where the new music is. And I listen to today's music only. I only listen to 2020 music. I mean, today's 2020 in one. You have to understand, each and every single day, I look for ways to improve myself. I made sure the other day to go and practice, for example, with fighting and all that. I said, I'll never do this, 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 I'll never do this in a fight. I mean, this is how you break the neck. I mean, this is how you break the nose. I mean, this is how you break the leg and also the arm. I practice and practice and practice. Because you never know. Although, do I plan to fight people? I don't plan to fight people. You understand? I just taught myself how to fight more in a better way, where I can self-defend and not kill somebody if I get into a fight. I mean, that's why I was learning. You understand? So now I understand that when 3 people attack me, I can just stand my ground, because I understand I can fight them. No matter how big they are. You understand? I mean, I have the skills. I can fight 20 of them too. I can fight 30 of them. I'm really quick now. I realize that is what self-defense can help you with, although it's not because of the fight. I realize it's just to help yourself live life more. And that's that. Understand? So no matter what, I'm always looking for better ways to do everything. I make sure that no matter what now, that when I go to piss and shit in the toilet, I make sure to go wash myself. You have to understand that if you're going to the toilet and you do a shit, and then you wipe your ass with the toilet paper and then you leave without taking a shower, because guess what? I promise you, when you're sleeping at night, your asshole is going to stink. You understand? Your wife and husband is going to smell the shit coming out of your bumhole. You understand? Because you didn't take a shower after your shit. You understand? You may be laughing, although it's honest. And that's why you get rashes in your bumhole. And you start scratching, because it's all the shit. Because you didn't have a shower after your shit. You understand? So when you shit in the shower, when you shit in the bathroom, you don't shit in the shower. When you go to the toilet and you shit, go and jump in the shower for 1 minute and wash your bumhole. Understand? Otherwise, you're going to start scratching it all over the place. You're going to start causing rashes and itchiness there. So every time you go to the toilet and shit, I mean, go and have a 1-minute shower, please. And just wash your bum hole. I promise you, it's nice. I promise you, it's nice to have water in life. So when you understand that it's really going to help you moving forward. You have to understand that when you go to the toilet and you piss, I don't care if you're a man or woman, you must wash your bum hole each and every time you go and shit and piss. I mean, when you piss, you wash your private area for 1 minute in the shower. Understand? You understand me? I mean, just 1 minute. I mean, just clean yourself. You're going to feel cleaner. You're going to be cleansed. Because it's much better to go and do that than to shit and piss and then just walk away. I mean, you smell like piss and shit already. You understand? I mean, if you don't shower after a piss and shit, you stink on piss and shit everywhere. Understand? I promise you that you can smell it everywhere. So realize that you never get yourself a cream to wipe your ass because there's a rash. You have to understand why that rash came there, because you're not washing your ass. Understand? So no matter what, I move on now. Because guess what? I promise you the only way to understand a better way is that you do a better way. You make sure that whatever you're doing today is going to be much better. You make sure that you're always giving ideas. You give ideas, you love your life, and that's the way. You have to understand that I have a nice, beautiful portfolio now on YouTube. And there's so many hours of content that can help you. I understand that the more I give content, I understand the more people will come to watch what I have. You understand? So go and build yourself 1,000 hours of videos and put it on YouTube. I promise you, you will also have popularity. You understand? Because the more you do it, the better for you. So realize you stay consistent every single day and go and make your life a public speaker and go and teach people something. I mean, if you like music, I mean, be a music producer and a life coach. You don't have to just be a music producer. I mean, be a life coach too. And teach people you have to teach people about your life and business and how you do everything. I mean, that's the only way to live life and to get out of the 9-to-5 job, is to do that. I promise you, those people who are chased by the government to go to 9-to-5 work are the ones also who can be free, but also most likely work a 9-to-5 job because they're not smart. You are not smart for working a 9-to-5 job. I work every single time. I always work 24/7 in one. I work every single second of every single minute. And what do I really do? Whereas my whole business is focusing on I. And I just focus on my life for Jesus so I can do something today to help Jesus live a better life. Whereas now, when I bring people to Jesus, I understand that way I also succeed. I give what they want, and I ultimately get what I want, as Zig Ziglar said. So no matter what, I always do something much better. I always make sure that what I'm doing today is going to be communicational work. I mean, speak, and speak up, and speak up, and speak up about something. I mean, make a topic and go and teach it. I mean, make a topic and go and teach it. I make 1 hour videos at a time. I mean, just 1 hour. And then I may do another 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 hour. And I can keep repeating it for the whole day. Understand? Although I don't focus on 3 hours at a time. I don't focus on 2 hours at a time. I don't focus on 5-hour videos. I focus on 1 hour video. Because it's much more simple to do a 1 hour video than a 2-hour video. Whereas it's much more simple to do a 1 hour video than a 3-hour video or a 8-hour video. You understand? So focus on your time. You understand that we have 24 hours in a day in one. You understand? Promise you, we only have this moment to do life. Promise you, if you're only reading in life and you're not teaching, you're not doing life. Promise you, you can read, but teach as well. You have to teach something. You teach, for example, you teach 1 hour in 365 days. You teach 1 hour every single day for 365 days. I promise you, you have 3 years of content. Understand? I promise you, that's 3 years of content you've made. You have to understand that each and every single day you do something, you make sure that you're always going to live a better life. You make sure that you go and do something much greater. You have to always understand that there's a better way. There's always a better way than what you're doing. You always have to let go, and you have to understand that speaking is a way of life. So those who speak shall also live a better life. I need you to understand that every single day you do something for the greater good. I mean, I understand that 3 years of life is something much greater. You have to understand you just go and speak, because each and every single time you speak and do something, you're going to be that much greater. You have to understand that each and every single day you do something that's really going to be much more worth it. You got to understand your numbers too. You have to understand that 1 hour every single day. You have to understand that it's 365 hours. You have to understand that 1 hour, that's 365 hours. I promise you that's 15 days of knowledge that you can give every single day with a video. Although you have to understand that it's really just make yourself much more than what you are. Make sure that whatever you're doing today, you're going to speak the best you can, you're going to do the best you can, and you're going to feel the best you can. You understand? So realize if you make a mistake, don't laugh at yourself and don't laugh at other people. It's that simple. So go and be smarter about your videos and be smarter about what you're doing every single day. I never have to work a 9-to-5 job because Jesus shows me the freedom. But any day of the week where you may find freedom in life, Jesus is there. Jesus says just follow the free road. How will I make $1 billion? $1 billion does not matter in Jesus' life. I promise you what matters is doing Jesus' work. And now that's $1 billion already. You understand? So realize that you follow that epic epilogue in life, which is an introduction of the beginning of life in Jesus. You must go and study everything. You must understand there's always something better to do. You must understand that you must be focused. You must be concentrated. You must be feeling great. I'm a vegan, so I have high energy levels all day long. I'm a peak performer. So that means to be a peak performer, you have to have high energy levels. You can turn vegan. It's a decision. That's up to you. Although I chose to be vegan. And I'm now vegan 2 years. And it's the best day of my life. You understand? So no matter what, I realize I stay away from the cigarettes, I stay away from drugs, I stay away from medications, because I understand that is not the way. I understand other people do not care about me in life. So what do? I go care about I. I care about only I in life. And that way I give you everything I can. I give you all the information for free. And that way, I realize that way I am for free in life. I understand that no matter what, I never have to worry about money. I never have to worry about anything in life. I understand the more I give you, the happier I am. I'm happier when I give you something. Because that way I give myself something. I realize that this video taught me a lot already about how I speak and how I do now compared to before. And that's a result right now. I have a better result now than I ever have. Because I can speak. I also do not I don't say in these videos anymore. You understand? Because I'm a much better public speaker now. I don't say and and in my videos anymore. Understand? When I listened to somebody else the other day, there was that person in a phone call, and he didn't even see the person face to face. He's saying and about 50 times within the 3-minute range. There's no in public speaking. You cannot be saying that. So what does he have to do? Well, she has to public speak more. Well, she has to communicate more. Well, she has to write more. Well, she has to write about his life. Understand? So no matter what, each and every single day you do something that's going to help you, you're going to be a natural. You're going to feel greater. You're going to feel much more about who you are. So speak more and love more and do more each and every single day, and you have more Jesus. You have more of a life. You have more to say. You have more meaning. You have more passion. You have more confidence. You have more courage. You have more of something that's going to help you. Whereas now, what helps you in life is new information and also new imagery. So where can you find new information today? Any type of wording, that's new information in words, and also new imagery. So what I use is Netflix for the images, and I scroll from Netflix to see the new images. And I don't care about the audio in that. I don't care about the audio in Netflix. I care about the images of the TV shows. I care about the images of the movie. I care about the images of the cartoons. You understand? So when I do that each and every single day, I understand I love my life much greater. I understand that my phones go off every single hour, so I have to switch them off. Otherwise, they're going to just ring. So no matter what, you just make sure that each and every single video you place in the planet, you can also pause your video, and then you can go and also switch off your alarms. Because each and every 1 hour, I do have my alarms set to just buzz. And why is that? Because I have number one in my life. And I realize I have number one, I also have I in life. Because my one is number I. I mean, what does that mean? I mean that number one is your greatest number out of all the numbers. So every hour or every 1 hour, or else my phone switch off in a way that I have number one in life. Because I consider myself number one. And that's how important number one is. Although number one means I. I first. I first. I am number one. I am really I in life. Because whatever you describe yourself or else whatever you describe yourself with in life is what you are. So be I. I mean, I is the greatest asset in life. And Jesus said, do not cut your eye out. Although the number one represents I. I must focus on I today. 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 So 24 hours of the day, I make sure to focus on I. And that's why I have every hour buzzing me to do so. And that's that. Understand? So it's just that simple because I love I. Or else each and every single day you do something today that's going to help you, you're going to understand it's reading and new imagery. So go find yourself mentors. And if you're just reading from one tab on YouTube, you have to understand I read 10 tabs at once. So learn how to do so. You have to understand if you're an Audible reader or you read an audiobook on 3.5 times. I used to do that. I used to read on 3.5 times. I now read 10 tabs that have 2 times on each of them. You understand? Each and every single one tab has 2 times. So how many times is that? I mean, that's times 20 already. I read on times 20 with 10 tabs. And per hour, you understand that 10 tabs means 200 minutes of information. I mean, per hour. You understand? So realize that each and every single day you do something. I mean, I read more than that. You understand that it's really that 10 tabs per hour equals 1,000 minutes. And that's on times 1. And then on times 2, I mean, that's 2,000 minutes I read per hour. You understand? Because that's 20 hours per hour I read. You have to understand that every single day I do something much more. I make sure to go and read something much more. I read faster than I do. I do something amazing. I do something to inspire somebody. I do something to make sure that my life is going to help. I make sure I don't focus on other people. I make sure I don't go somewhere where I don't need to. I focus on planning my life ahead. I have 2 phones because I use it to help Jesus. Or if you need to attract something in life, it's because you need to help yourself attract Jesus more. And if you need a car, I mean, how is that going to help Jesus? I mean, ask yourself. How is your car going to help Jesus first? And then if it helps Jesus, really, you have a car. You have a car with you right away because you have a purpose for it. I promise you, if you need a car right now, you can get one if it's in Jesus' name. I promise you, if you do not have a purpose to have a car now with Jesus' name on it, you'll never have one. And so realize that Jesus is important and just go and read about everything. And never be afraid to speak Jesus in front of other people, even when those psychiatrists believe you're crazy, because they believe everybody's crazy. Understand? I mean, they believe everybody's crazy. I mean, no matter what you say. I mean, do not believe in them. I mean, do not believe a doctor in a 9 to 5. I mean, they'll just give you some medications. And that's not the way to go. I mean, do not believe injections. I mean, injections is never going to... I promise you, injections will never solve schizophrenia. I promise you, bipolar will never be solved by medications. And nothing of this world will be solved by medications. I mean, no matter how much they say that this one pill is going to help your heart live 5 years. I mean, that's bullshit. Understand? Because what that one pill does is it shortens your life by 5 years. You understand? And the doctors don't care about you. No matter how much they're your family doctor in life, they don't care about you. They never call you. I mean, let's just put it that way. I mean, they never call you in life. I mean, they never even came to your house for a coffee. And now, I place emphasis on the coffee because coffee is not important. You understand? I mean, nobody needs coffee in life. I mean, they never came to your house for some water. And let's just put it that way. I mean, they never come to your house for some soy milk in life. I mean, they never came to your house for a drink. I mean, most of you drink alcohol. I mean, most of you drink caffeine in life. I mean, most of you drink Red Bulls and cigarettes in life. You have to understand that it's not the way to go. You understand? I never need caffeine. I never need cigarettes. I never need drugs. I drink soy milk and water. And sparkling water. Understand? So if you come to my house, in terms of where I live, which is inside, although if you come here and you're next to me, I'll give you some soy milk. I'll give you some water, and I'll give you some sparkling water, because I'll give you nothing else from the drinks. Other than coconut water. I can get some coconut water, I can get some coconut milk, and that's that. I can get some almond milk and oat milk and soy milk. I've got many brands. Understand? So no matter what, I'm a vegan. I'll give you veganism in life. I help take care of you. I make sure that no matter, I never have to cook for you either. I give you what I have right now. I give you what I have right now. I make sure I give you some green pea. I've got some green peas over there. I've got some bread and peanut butter. I've got some Weet-Bix. And I also make sure I've got some bananas right now. Understand? I've got some peanuts. Understand? So no matter what, I mean, it's high in protein. Understand? So it's going to help you. I never have to cook a meal in my life ever again. I never have to go and turn on the stove anymore. I never need a stove in the first place. I'm a vegan. I don't need a kitchen. I mean, I realize that my kitchen is the streets, because all I really need is I just grab my food and go on the street and I eat on the street, because that's how easy it is to make my food. I can be traveling and eating. I can eat on the bus. I never have to cook on the bus. I mean, how amazing is that? I bring my food on the plane. I bring it everywhere. I understand Jamie Oliver loves to cook. I promise you that guy eats meat. I promise you that guy will teach you some aspects of life on nutrition. Although, guess what? I promise you can never teach me more than I. Understand? So understand that no matter what, that nobody can teach you more than you. I can teach you so many ideas, although you have to take action and you have to do it. I'm a vegan, and Jamie Oliver is a meat eater. Watch, that guy calls himself a chef or some sort. I mean, he has to cook. I never have to cook. I never have to cook. Understand that when you put all that garlic and you grab 50 herbs and spices and you put on your food for one shot. I mean, it's easy to look like you're rich. It's easy to look like you're rich. Understand that I'm richer than that. Understand? Although, guess what? I promise you that most people cannot afford to go and get 50 spices and put on their food every day. Understand? So realize that there is a difference between TV shows and people who cook on TV shows and people who live a daily life with $10 a day, which is 83% of people in the planet. Understand? Now, I'm better than all the percentages in the world. I'm better than all the numbers in the world. Now, you have to understand, I don't judge anything. I realize that no matter what, that there is far more people today than ever before, and everybody's rich, and everybody's got money. And now the real money is not $10 that they live on. They're not living on $10. They're living in the wisdom of life. Although they are really in plastic money, or else they're living on $10 a day. I mean, right now. Understand? So plastic money has got nothing to do with Jesus. Now, what Jesus understands is that you go into the wisdom, and that's all the money in the world. That's the plastic money. That's everything. Understand? So the more you go and accumulate plastic money, you're going to accumulate wisdom. You're going to teach somebody some wisdom in life, and that way you're going to help somebody succeed, and that way you're going to be inspirational, and that way you're going to do something much greater. because that's the whole point of life. Which the whole point of life is help people and give and give and give and give and give. Understand? And that's all you have to understand.